Hello everyone, Sonia from Sonyas Quilts and Embroidery this morning. It is Wednesday, May the 2nd, and I'm just now getting to the phase 2 part of excuse me, of my necktie quilt. I've already cut my piece of I'm using muslin for my base for my t-shirt, my necktie quilt, and I cut a piece about 50 by 50, which will be big enough to do the starburst in the center. I did not want to work with a full sheet to make a queen size. I'm only going to work with a 50 by 50 inch muslin square. I have already taken my 50 inch, which this is a lot bigger piece, but just to show you, I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half again so I can get my quarters. Like so. Took it to the ironing board, and I have ironed from this point, the center point of this square, all the way down the folds on the other two sides, and opened it up. And when you open it up, you will find that you have crosshairs. I'm only going to do certain, because like I said, this is not my piece. I'm just showing you how I found my center. And iron all the way down the folds. And then I take it open, and if you can see this, right here is my center, and you can see the crosshairs. And then I took a CD, I actually used a John Denver CD, but today we're going to use a Rod Stewart CD. Well, no, we're not. He's not in there. Let's see what we got on top here. Okay, just a generic disc. And because of the small hole in the center, it's easy to look and find the center with your crosshairs there. It's easy to find the very center and to get your CD centered on this fabric. Took a fine tip Sharpie and I drew around it to find a circle. And as I showed you in the first video, I took my neckties and I gutted them. That's all in the first CD. The first video, how you gut your ties. And I have ironed on heat bond light around the edges of the tie and cut them at the appropriate length. Mine are 21 inches. And then you can see my circle in the center that I've drawn, and that is just a guide that you can use to make sure that each of your ties are just barely inside this circle. And I used where I ironed the folds of this square, I used those lines to make sure that my ties were straight. And I've got 4 of the ties already appliqued down, top stitched down, and I'm going to then start with the second phase, the second layer, the second trip around, taking my neckties, removing the heat bond paper, been extremely busy with the t-shirt quilts lately, and I've just now gotten back to this. We're going to center this one using the other two as a guide. It's easier to do this like this, kind of build up your layers, and that way you can it's easier to see the distance between that you've got this centered. And then we will just take off and using steam to heat up that heat bond really well. And you can actually iron down your next 4 ties if you want to before you go to the machine. It's completely up to you how you want to do this. But get those so it's got a good chance to stick. In fact, my iron is just about out of water. We just need this to hang on just long enough to get it to the machine, because when you're working with something this size, it's easy to lose sight of how straight you have it and what it really looks like when you're at the machine. So it's best to have everything kind of in its place before you go to the machine. Some more water in here. Okay, it's stuck down good now, except for that end. I don't think I had heat bond all the way to the end on that one, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Now let's go to the machine. And top stitch this one down. And like I said in the first video, to do that extra prep work with a heat bond makes putting this thing together a lot easier. There we go. We have our number five tie applique down, top stitch down. Everything is looking great with this, and it may not take as many ties as I thought. Probably 2 more in here, 2 more in there. So, and I've got to do the other 3 sides with the center ties. So we're probably looking at after I get the other ones put down, probably looking at about 16 more ties. So thank you so much, and I will record the final phase of this quilt, and when I get it ready to all put together, because it's only 50 by 50, it's got to be a queen size, so I'll have to add some fabric around this, and it's also going to have the quarter fans in each corner. So I appreciate you watching this and being patient with me getting back to this. The graduation quilts have got to be done in the next couple of weeks, and there have been so many. I think last week I put together 9 or 10, and this week I've already put together about 4 or 5. And so yeah, the t-shirt quilt business is you know, very stressful sometimes. They come in so fast, faster than you can work. So, but I have gotten back to the necktie quilt, and I'm going to get this one finished, and hopefully I will post a picture of the final results on my Facebook page at Sonyas Quilts and Embroidery. Join me there for pictures of all the quilts that I make, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.